Mark, how's the transition been into your new role this spring?
Smooth, real smooth. If you look back, I think this is my 20th year and 14th coaching up front. So easy transition. TP and I are clicking. No, it's been really smooth, and I think as a whole defensive staff, I think you couldn't ask for a better transition with Coach Chavis. So not just up front, but all levels. I think it's gone real well.
The dynamic working with him, what has it been like on a day-to-day basis, sit in the meeting room with John or be out on the practice field?
It's been great. He wants a lot of input, and his background, his resume speaks for itself. Again, I think we've all learned a lot from him, but he's real down to earth, and it's funny, you go back to the first time he addressed our players, and you could have heard a pin drop. All guys were zeroed in on him, and our players have certainly bought in, and I think it's been a real smooth transition so far. So real pleased on all fronts.
Mark got relieved of his duties. Were you concerned that maybe you'd have to find another job, or you were sure you'd have a chance to stay, or how'd that
I think if there was a time to sit back and think about it, certainly you're, this is a performance-based business, and we haven't played as well as we want to on the defensive side of the ball. But I think anytime you change leadership on either side, that there's a chance that you may not be around. But again, we had a game to get ready for, so I think between myself and Terry Price, we all collectively came together and just concerned ourselves with going out and playing another football game, trying to put a plan together for our players. But again, at the end of the day, you never know what the future is going to hold. You just try to do the best you can with the job at hand. So, but that certainly was a variable that was real.
All professions, you reach a time where you get a refreshment. Do you feel because of that and change position, a new boss? Do you feel refreshed, ready to go, new blood, so to speak?
I think big picture wise, I think we've all embraced this new dynamic with Chief coming in, and again, I think he's embraced us the same way. He's looked for a lot of input. I think he feels real comfortable with myself and Terry Price, and like I say, it's been a real good, smooth transition so far. In terms of being refreshed, again, I've looked at it as getting with a new group of kids and being in a role that I'm certainly familiar with, and it's been full speed ahead, so I feel real good about it.
Talked about the new group of kids. How's your relationship building with them? Obviously, you already know them, but
it's gone good. Again, obviously Reggie had been with me at linebacker, but from top to bottom, from Alonzo and Hardrick and Zakoven and Deshaun. All the guys have been good about it. And like I said, Terry had a great relationship with that whole crew, and I think our guys bought into having two coaches up front. We've been able to get more technical, been a little bit more one-on-one coaching. We've been able to split the group up. When we watch practice video, when we do our installs, we're usually in there together as a full line. So it's been a little of both, but the players have handled it real well.
What's Alonzo's development been like this offseason?
He's been great for me. Here's a guy that's started his career as an end and bulked himself up, moved inside. He's certainly as good a leader as we have up front. He and Julian, together provide great leadership for our D line. But he's been a guy that I can lean on. Again, he's got a great rapport with the younger players. So again, he's the type of guy out in the practice field. It's not always me as a coach having to get on those younger guys. He's like a coach on the field. So Alonzo's been really good. I think the hardest thing for him is we're changing the way that we play up front. We've been more of a not sit back, but we've been more of a read and react type defensive line, trying to occupy blockers. And we're certainly a lot more aggressive right now, trying to play more vertical rather than horizontally. And so that's been an adjustment, not just for Alonzo, but for the whole group. And I think we've certainly made progress, not nearly where we need to be right now, but we're making good progress in that respect.
Mark, you've coached defensive tackles before. Is that the style you coached?
Yeah, everywhere that I've been. There's only been one season where, that I can remember in the 14 years I've been coaching up front that we've been more of a sit back and read, and I think that's really how you have to play. Unless you're built, physically to sit back and occupy blockers and do a lot of two-gapping. And that's really when I look at our D-line, that's what we're made for. So I think more of an attacking style fits our players. And it's more fun to play in, to be honest with you. It's really every man for themselves. You're not just trying to lock up blockers and let linebackers, make all your plays, your secondary make all the plays. It's you trying to reestablish a new line of scrimmage and make plays yourself. And again, if I'm those guys, they're liking this style a lot.
And apart from Alonzo, is there anybody in particular you can point out that you feel like is starting to flourish?
I think we've seen them all, come along. I think Hardrick's had a good spring. Again, he's a guy that's not real flashy, but he's very steady. Zay Coven is a very explosive player for us. He's battling a few little nagging injuries right now, but I think he's had a good spring and he's dropped some weight. But he's a guy that can really attack the line of scrimmage, reestablish a new line of scrimmage, play on the other side of the ball, which is something we talk a lot about. Deshaun Washington, I think, is coming along, learning to, gaining some weight, play behind his pads a little bit more. And so we're seeing, good progress out of a lot of the guys. Reggie Chavis is a guy that's bulked up. Now he's had a little bit of an ankle injury, but he's a guy that I can see helping us. Again, we got to keep him healthy. He's pushing, 275, 280 right now. And so, again, you're seeing a lot of guys, nobody really jumping out, other than I think Alonzo's had our most consistent spring inside.
You had such a short time to prepare for that bowl game.
Mm-hmm.
When you reflect back on it in that position you were in and the other coaches helping you, it's something for y'all to be proud of, isn't it, in terms of that?
Absolutely. I mean, we were certainly excited most that we were able to win the game. But when we went back as a staff and looked at it, there's certainly more pluses than minuses. It wasn't a perfect game. We gave some big plays, some explosive plays, but I think we got into a rhythm, late in the second quarter. Started to get off the field with some 3 and outs that built itself into the second half. And I think we were really in sync with our offense. They were running the ball, controlling the ball. We were getting off the field with 3 and outs. Again, pleased, with how it ended up. So certainly happy with the way that we finished up. And it gave our guys confidence, going in here to the off season, and is carried over here to spring practice.
1-0 as a DC, right?
I guess, yeah.
When it comes to depth and maybe quality of depth, where are you guys at that position?
D-line?
Yeah. Or
tackle. You're never as deep as you want to be. I think we're, it's been a work in progress. We're certainly further along than we were a couple years ago. We've got a couple good quality young men coming in Dalen and Kingsley. So, but we're making progress. We're just not quite there yet, and I think we've got more bodies, that can get in and see action for us, and that's what we're looking forward to this fall.
All right, Coach. Thank you.
Yep.